Focus, something we all think we have until we realise we've spent the last hour scrolling through cat videos instead of working on that important project. But what if our inability to concentrate isn't actually our fault?
Oh my goodness, you are speaking directly to my soul right now. Just this morning, I caught myself checking my phone 17 times in 1 hour. I actually counted because I was so horrified.
Well, here's what's fascinating. It's not actually a personal failing. There's this entire sophisticated system designed specifically to fragment our attention, and most people don't even realise it's happening.
Hold on now. Are you saying someone is actively trying to make us distracted?
That's exactly right. We're living in what experts call an attention economy, where some of the world's biggest tech companies are literally profiting from our distraction. Think about platforms like TikTok and Instagram. They're not just innocent entertainment.
So, how exactly are they making money from our scattered focus?
Well, they're using incredibly sophisticated psychological tricks. Everything from the endless scroll feature to perfectly timed notifications, all designed to trigger dopamine releases in our brains. Studies show that each notification can spike dopamine levels by up to 50%.
That actually explains why I feel almost anxious when I try to ignore my phone. It's like my brain is craving that next hit.
Exactly. And here's where it gets really concerning. Research shows that the average person now has an attention span of just 8 seconds. That's actually less than a goldfish, which can focus for 9 seconds.
That's absolutely terrifying. But what about multitasking? Isn't that a way to compensate?
Well, here's the thing. Multitasking is actually a complete myth. Our brains literally cannot focus on multiple complex tasks simultaneously. Instead, we're rapidly switching between tasks, and each switch comes with what neuroscientists call a cognitive switching penalty.
You know, I've always wondered why I feel so exhausted after a day of multitasking.
That's because each task switch can reduce your productive time by up to 40%. Think about it. If you're working on a report while checking emails and attending a Zoom meeting, you're essentially running your brain at 1/3 capacity for each task.
So, what's the solution here? Because it feels like we are fighting against some really powerful forces.
Well, there are several evidence-based strategies we can use. One of the most powerful is something called a dopamine detox, spending 24 hours with zero digital distractions. Research shows this can reset your brain's reward pathways within just one day.
That sounds both terrifying and intriguing. What other practical strategies can help us reclaim our focus?
Here's a fascinating one. Studies show that even having your phone visible while working reduces your cognitive capacity by about 10%, even if it's turned off. So, step one is creating what we call a focus environment. No phone, no notifications, no distractions.
You know what's really interesting about all this? It feels like we are talking about addiction, not just bad habits.
That's because we are. Brain scans show that social media triggers the same reward pathways as addictive substances. But here's the good news. Our brains are incredibly adaptable. Research shows that focused attention can be rebuilt in as little as 2 weeks of consistent practice.
So, what would you recommend as a first step for someone who wants to start reclaiming their focus?
The 90-minute deep work sprint is proven to be most effective. It aligns with our brain's natural ultradian rhythm, the cycle of peak performance and rest. Set a timer, eliminate all distractions, and focus on one task. Studies show this can increase productivity by up to 200%.
That's really encouraging. It's like we're training our focus muscles.
Exactly. And just like physical exercise, consistency is key. Research shows that people who practice focused work for 90 minutes daily see improvements in attention span within just 5 days.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. I feel both concerned about how much my focus has been hijacked and hopeful about the possibility of reclaiming it.
Well, remember everyone, your attention is literally your most valuable resource in the modern economy. Companies are spending billions to capture it. But with these evidence-based strategies, you can take back control, one focused moment at a time.
Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive into understanding and improving our attention spans. Here's to more focused, productive, and meaningful days ahead.